Hello. So it is so close to 2020, it's kind of freaky. Like, we're going into a new decade. Sometimes we write New Year's resolutions and we overwhelm ourselves with really, really big changes that aren't going to happen and that are frankly unrealistic. I've done it so many times where I'm like, I'm going to change my whole life. I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm going to be writing in my journal every day. I'm going to read a book a week. And while those things are really good, if maybe you know that you can achieve them, sometimes I think doing small changes and maybe more of them is better. So I want to share a list of 50 things, not 10, 50 things that you can do that will hopefully be something you can actually keep up for the rest of the year. Obviously you don't have to do all 50, but these are some ideas. Let me know though in the comments what your main resolutions are for the new year. And yeah, let's get into it. We all spend too much time on our phones. I especially do because it's my job. So in the new year, try to detox once a week from social media, whether that's spending time at the weekend off your phone, whether that's in the evening switching off your phone, or making your phone something you use at specific times during the day. In the new year, I'm gonna have evenings and mornings off social media. Maybe you could try that as well. Now, I mentioned journaling in the intro, but I used to set myself a goal of like writing a full diary entry every single day. So instead for the new year, I'm gonna write one sentence at least a day, and that to me seems much more doable. It can be a sentence about how I'm feeling, a sentence about what I'm grateful for, or just a sentence about what I'm up to that day and why I'm excited for it. Try it, put your thoughts down on paper, and don't put too much pressure on yourself to write an essay. You all know how much I love to cook, and I really want to encourage other people to learn to cook because it's such an invaluable lesson that not only will mean that you can eat lots of yummy foods, you can save some money, and you can eat a really nutritious, well-balanced diet. So instead of setting yourself an unrealistic goal of going on a diet or changing things dramatically, learn how to cook from scratch, and I've got plenty of recipes on my channel. I'll link my recipe playlist up here for you to go check out. If you don't want to do something and if you have that gut feeling that you're like, oh, don't say yes, just flat out go, no, I'm really sorry, thanks for the invitation, or thanks for thinking of me, but I can't do it. Just have the confidence in yourself to say no to things you don't want to be doing. And that also applies to saying yes. If you find yourself getting in a little bit of a rut and staying at home a lot, not saying yes to things because you're scared or anxious, try and push yourself outside of your comfort zone and say yes to things you otherwise wouldn't. I do this with saying yes and say no. I say yes to things I don't really want to do, and I say no to things that I probably should be doing, and I don't know why I say no to them. So I'm trying to switch that around a bit and gain better balance. Maybe you drive to work every day, or maybe you are driving to the supermarket every week. See if there's days that you can walk instead, or cycle instead, or get the bus, and save on your carbon footprint. If there's anyone on your social media that you're following that makes you tempted to buy stuff you don't need, maybe they make you feel quite jealous, maybe they make you feel bad about your body, whatever negative feelings you're having or unhealthy habits they're promoting, unfollow them. Again, this is something that I'm really trying to work on because I go to bed, I leave everything in a state because I'm so tired, wake up in the morning and it looks horrible in my house. I used to tidy before bed, and it's a really great way to make your house always feel clean, always feel tidy, and if you do that a little bit every night, then it will never build up. We all work far too hard, we're hustling, we're going for it, we're working ourselves so much, and I'm just not convinced it's particularly healthy for us. So in the new year, I personally am going to be taking one day off a week at least, because I'm getting into too much of a habit of just working all the time through the weekends. And if you feel the same, take one day off, schedule it into your diary, put your out of office on if it's during a weekday or whatever your schedule looks like. Tell people that that's your day off and make it a thing, make it a habit. You may find that you end up being more productive on the days that you are working because you actually gave yourself time to rest. Unfortunately, when you put your food in your bin and it goes to landfill, that doesn't decompose. It can't break down because there's not enough air to break the food down. If you compost it in your garden, however, or if you have someone collect your food scraps, or if you take it to a local garden that accepts compost, then it will be able to decompose and go back into the earth. this is a really small change that can actually make a big difference. If you're someone who gets a coffee every day, if you're someone who eats out a lot, just shove a cutlery set in your bag, maybe a napkin, maybe a water bottle, coffee cup, whatever works for you, so you can avoid on all the single-use plastic. Now, there's nothing wrong with exercising for your physical health. We all know the benefits. However, if you're someone like me who used to exercise to change your body, to try and look like somebody else, then maybe it's time that you switched that and did it for a different reason. So I started to exercise instead to take care of myself, to switch off from work, to do something for me, and that made it so much easier to stay motivated, and I just fell in love with exercise even more. Now, that's not just eating plants. Try and eat a variety of them because it's really good for your gut, it's really good for your digestion, and it will help you to make sure that you're getting in all the nutrients that you need. Not only is reading really good for your mental health because you get to switch off from day-to-day life, from work, and just kind of go into another world, but it's really good for knowledge and expanding how you think and seeing other points of view and learning about how other people live. So in 2020, set yourself a realistic goal that works for you and read more. I want in 2020 to encourage you to look at any situation or any information that you have and question it. We too often just kind of go with the status quo, accept how everything is already done, and just live our lives like everybody else, because I know that for me, as soon as I started to question things, my life changed for the better. This can apply to all areas of your life: furniture, clothing, packaging, anything. Try and opt for the natural version over the synthetic so you're not contributing as much to the plastic problem. If you're someone who washes your hair every day, then try and wash your hair every other day. If you're someone who washes your hair every other day, try and wash your hair every 3 days. Stretch it out and your hair will probably start to feel healthier and better, plus it saves a lot of time. It's 2020 soon, or it might already be 2020 by the time you're watching this. This is a simple change that you can make to stop supporting brands that are testing on animals and instead support brands that are taking a stand and using alternative methods. We do not need to be testing on animals anymore. Often things are all digitalised now, and I find writing it down on paper really helps me to visualise and see things a lot clearer. Sometimes just writing a to-do list for the day on a piece of paper makes me feel like I can get it done better. There are so many swaps that we can make in our day-to-day lives. Maybe you want to swap face wipes for a face cloth, or new clothing for secondhand clothing, or something wrapped in plastic for something not wrapped in plastic. The list is endless. Look at your life and see what swaps you can easily make. We're all so work obsessed, me included. Find a hobby that has nothing to do with work, nothing to do with your goals or anything, and something that you're just going to do for fun, like we all did when we were kids. Sleep is so important. If you're feeling tired, go to sleep. Go have a nap, rest your eyes and allow it. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're being unproductive. It just means you're taking care of yourself. If you've been buying from the same brands for years, go and search out brands that are smaller, local businesses, ones that are doing good for the planet. I'm an ambassador for Vivo Life and I'm really proud to be. They are a vegan supplement brand and they do everything right. So their packaging now is all home compostable, which is so incredible. They make all their stuff in a factory that's run on renewable energy. They are carbon neutral. They plant trees for every order that is made. All of their stuff is vegan and cruelty free, and it's all made in the UK. They just tick all the boxes for me, and they really are making such huge efforts and strides towards being a company that is doing good for our planet. So find brands like that and support them. If you want to check Vivo Life out and want to get some of their supplements, I highly recommend their omega-3 dropper and also their salted caramel protein powder. They're my favourites. Then you can use my code and get 10% off. You might be someone like me who really gives yourself a hard time if you don't have a super productive, super amazing, positive filled day. That's normal, it's life, it's natural. If you've woken up late, if you've not got all the work done you wanted to do, if your house is a mess, if you're feeling shitty, just accept it. Don't try and fight against it and allow those bad days so you can also have the good days. You come first. If you make yourself come first, then you will allow yourself to be so much better for other people. If you take care of you, you'll be able to be better in the workplace. You'll be able to be a nicer friend. You'll be able to be a more supportive family member. You will be able to do everything so much better if you make yourself the priority always. This can be very, very small. This can be literally picking up a piece of litter off the floor. This could be calling up your mum and asking how she is. This could be having a conversation with a homeless person and asking how they are. This could be donating to a charity or smiling at somebody on the tube. It could be absolutely anything. Just maybe take time in the morning on your lunch break to do something for someone outside of yourself and you will reap the rewards. Throwing stuff away really should never be an option. Donating is the way to go. Roxy is growling at the people walking by. Donate it to a charity shop, give it to a friend, family member, give it to a children's hospital, homeless shelter, local school. Try and find a place for that thing before you throw it out. Number 28 is to learn how to fix things or to do your own DIY. I've loved doing that this past year in my own home. I've learned so much and also saved so much money from doing it on my own. If you want to buy a new iPhone, a new camera, go and get it secondhand. I've got my camera secondhand, my lens secondhand. I got my other camera secondhand, my Apple Watch. I love to hunt out secondhand things. Not only are you saving money, but also you're using something that's already existing and saving on a lot of resources and waste. Number 30 is to quit fast fashion. Fast fashion really needs to be a thing of the past. It's detrimental to our planet. It's detrimental to the people who are making those clothes. And we should just give it up altogether. Go to secondhand shops, go to charity shops, find stuff online on places like Depop or eBay, and go and hunt out brands that are actually doing good, like I mentioned before. Maybe they're a bit more expensive, but if you practice slow fashion and you buy things that will last, then you'll probably save money on cost per wear. So you can swap out your soap that comes in a plastic bottle for some hand soap. You can swap out your shampoo that comes in a plastic bottle for a shampoo bar. Or you could get your moisturiser in a glass jar rather than a plastic one. There's lots of different things here we can do when it comes to beauty products. I've done this before with apps that I'm not using, with email subscriptions that I don't want to be signed up to anymore, even with things that have been costing me some money that I've not even realised I'm not using. So go through and cancel any that you really don't need anymore. In the new year, if you're looking to save or get out of debt, set yourself a budget. Be very clear with your essentials and your non-essentials. And I go into detail about this in my book, which I'll leave a link in the description for. Look at the week ahead and look in your cupboards, see what food you have and plan the food that you're going to eat before you go shopping. This will not only save you money, but it will also save you waste. It will probably be a lot easier. I am a sucker for thinking things through my head a million times and working myself up. And then as soon as I talk to somebody, I realise how over the top I was being and dramatic, and I should have just spoken to them in the first place. If you're like that, then make it a habit. As soon as those panicky thoughts start to come into your brain, just call somebody up and just say, hey, what are you up to? Take your mind off it, and you probably will end up start talking about how you're feeling a bit stressed, and they'll likely help you come back down to earth. We don't need to be washing our clothes as much as we maybe are, so if you kind of give it a sniff and it smells okay, then put it back in your cupboard rather than washing it every single time you wear it. And similarly, when you do wash it, turn the heat down. 30 is plenty. This is something I've definitely worked on this year. I gained weight this year and I used to really find it difficult when I gained weight. I would hate how I looked, I would be miserable about it, I would wear clothes that were unflattering and just feel really, really bad about myself. What I've done this year is I've realised that this is the weight I am, it's okay, I still look nice, nobody probably has even noticed, and I'm gonna go get myself some new clothes that fit me and that I feel good in. I'm gonna accept that I'm beautiful at this weight as I was before. Why does it matter? Like, the only reason it matters is because I've been brainwashed to believe it does, when the reality is it doesn't. I'm telling you now, whatever weight you are, whatever you look like right now, that's enough and that's okay. Maybe one day it will change. Maybe you'll get a haircut, maybe you'll lose weight. But this is what you are right now, and it makes your life so much easier if you just accept that and move on. For the longest time, I thought that you could recycle pizza boxes, but you can't because of all the grease on them. I also thought that you could put Tetra Packs, so where like almond milk or soy milk, those cartons they come in. I thought you could recycle those in general recycling. You can't. Well, maybe you can where you live, but you can't where I live. So it's really important that you find that information out so you're not just ending up throwing stuff in the bin. Call up your local council, learn about it and get that knowledge so you can recycle effectively in 2020. I've talked about this so much because it's so important, but it's a really simple and small thing that you can do. Just quickly find a renewable energy supplier. I personally use Octopus Energy. Contact them, say you want to switch to them, and they will do it all. They will help you. It doesn't take more than a 5-minute phone call or an email. Like, it's really, really, really simple. And you can be rest assured that you're not supporting fossil fuels anymore and you're running all your electricity off of renewables in 2020. This saves you from having to go out and buy jars or buy storage containers for things, because I put so many different things in my jars when I repurpose them. I'll buy some food like a pasta and I'll look at it and think, oh, that's a nice jar that I can reuse. And then once I've finished the pasta sauce, I will reuse that jar. I'll put some food in there, I'll put some pens in there, maybe I will make a candle out of it. There are so many things you can do with jars to repurpose them, plus they just look really pretty. Go outside and go and look at some trees, spend some time in the great outdoors and make that something that you do regularly, because it will make you feel so much more grounded and happier, and just take your mind off any thoughts that are making you feel a bit rubbish. Number 42 is to spend one day every week or every month without electronics, or it could even just be an evening. I really want to do this in 2020 where I have one evening a week where I don't use electronics. So we switch off the telly, we switch off our phones, we have lights on, like that's allowed. But we just do something other than that. So we read a book, play a game, bake, whatever, just away from technology. Again, something really, really simple that can make a big, big difference. Every time you click checkout, stop, save it on Pinterest or save it somewhere and then come back to it the next day. You do not need to buy it just yet. Hold fire and have a think about it. Same goes for when you're in the shops. If you're impulse buying and you're like, oh, go on then, I'll have that. Stop and think, do I actually need this? Is this something I'm gonna use? Is it something I'm gonna wear? Just think. So if you are shopping and you're thinking about what you're buying, also think about where you're buying from and shop from small local businesses who need your support. Local businesses are struggling right now. There's lots of big businesses online that make it very easy and very cheap for you to just go and buy all your stuff from them. But let's go back to going to local shops and supporting them, because it's an independent person who needs your support. If you're going to go into 2020 thinking that you're going to be able to achieve a million new different things every single day because you're going to be a different person, then you may as well give up now. Set yourself instead a very small routine that you can achieve in the morning or at work or in the evening that is actually realistic for you. This could be in the form of waking up maybe at 7 o'clock in the morning, not looking at your phone, going outside for a walk, coming back for a mindful breakfast, and then writing one sentence in your journal about what you're grateful for. So make it realistic, make it feasible, and hopefully it will improve your day to day. Honestly, sometimes breaking the routine is actually a good thing. So sometimes at the weekend, you don't want to wake up at 7 and you don't want to go out for a walk. You want to lie in bed and have some breakfast and chill out. That's totally okay. It's also okay if you don't manage to do those things, because you're not a robot and you're not perfect. So allow yourself to break the routine and keep going the next day. Number 47 is to breathe and just be in the moment. Stop worrying about what's going to go on next week or dwelling on something you've said the week before, and just stop, chill out, and realize that everything's actually okay. If you're not ready to do some big decluttering, then start small and just declutter a little cupboard. It might get you started on your decluttering journey, plus it will make you feel quite productive and organised. If there's something in your life that's making you feel anxious, or if there's something that you really are scared of doing or you're feeling very disorganised with, then sit down and make a plan. That could be making a plan on how you're going to get out of debt. It could be a plan on how you're going to do up your house. It could be a plan for what you're going to do that day. Anything, write it down, get organised, and make a plan so that you can achieve it. Next time a thought comes into your head and says to you, you're not good enough, that was crap, why are you even bothering, this person doesn't like you, all those horrible, stupid, negative thoughts that, by the way, are not you and they're not rational, tell yourself, no, sorry, I'm not being hard on myself now. You can shut up, go away, leave me alone, and I'm gonna go back to doing what I do best, and that's being me, doing, you know, great things and being a good person. Ignore those thoughts and don't let yourself be hard on yourself in 2020. So I really hope you enjoyed that video and you took something from it. Hopefully there are some small changes in there that can make a massive difference to your life in 2020. Roxy also says goodbye. Roxy also says goodbye. Bye, you little sleepy. She doesn't have to do any of these things. She's a puppy. You're a puppy.